With well over 80 million games sold and more than 6 billion revenue, the Halo game series for the Xbox is one of the biggest and best. So, let's use our Xbox 360 to play it from the start. Hi and welcome to Bytes and Bits. Halo was the flagship game for the original Xbox console when it was released back in November of 2001. It took the first-person shooter game to new levels of gameplay and played a big part in finally securing Microsoft's place in the gaming marketplace. Now, over the next 20 years, 15 games were released in the series. Now, 5 main titles featuring the main character Master Chief, and 10 spin-off titles across a range of platforms including Windows, macOS and iOS. Now in this video I'll be showing you how you can use a modded Xbox 360 to play this great game series from the very first Halo Combat Evolved through the first 4 Master Chief main games. And that's playing all of them using completely original software, no remasters, just the games as they were meant to be. Now this will give us a real insight into the development of the Xbox consoles and the quality of the games over the first 2 generations in terms of graphics and gameplay. So let's get started. To begin, we do of course need to have a console to play the games on. Now, as I mentioned, I'll be using a modded Xbox 360. Now, any Xbox 360 model can now be modded with either the full RGH3 hardware hack or the new bad update software exploit. Now, if you don't know how to do this, then please do check out my RGH3 modding video or have a look at one of the bad update tutorials. Now, if you do have an RGH3 compatible console, I'd highly recommend going this route, as it will give you a fully exploited Xbox that can run all the homebrew apps. But if you don't have a compatible model, then do try the bad update exploit to give you access to the games. Now, once you've got a modded console, you'll need to use the OG Xbox mod to allow it to play the original Xbox titles. Now again, I have a video tutorial on how to install that on your RGH3 modded unit, so please do have a look at that. Finally then, you'll need to get hold of the games. Now, Halo 3 and Halo 4 are Xbox 360 titles, so you can either buy these second-hand for a few pounds, or install them using your legally obtained backup files. And again, if you're not sure how to do all of that, then please do check out my Xbox 360 game installation video. For the original Xbox games, of course you can use either discs or backup files again, and you'll need to install those as shown in my original Xbox homebrew setup video. So, now that you've got everything assembled, you're ready for action. The first Halo game was Halo Combat Evolved, which was a launch title for the original Xbox back in 2001. Now this introduced the main character, Master Chief, and he is a Spartan super soldier of the United Nations Space Command. And that means he's sort of a genetically enhanced, futuristic version of the Bionic Man, encased in a protective suit and equipped with a regenerating shield to protect him. He also has an AI partner called Cortana, and she helps to direct the action and keep the storyline moving. Now, the game all takes place in the 26th century, where humanity is battling an alien alliance called the Covenant. Now, the Covenant believe in an ancient race who created something called the Halo Rings, and they're looking to activate these rings to fulfill their prophecy. So, it's essentially the normal good humans versus the misguided religious fanatic aliens battle scenario. Now, the game starts on the Pillar of Autumn spaceship, where you awaken and you're taken through your combat suit setup, basically to show you how the controls and features work. Now again, these all work as you would expect, and they don't change throughout the whole series of games. Now your suit's shield will protect you from damage, but once depleted, will take a few seconds before it starts to recharge. So again, if you do find you're in this, you'll get some warning signals, and at that point you do need to go hold and get off some cover and get out of the firing line. Now in the game, and in all of the games, you can carry up to 2 weapons at a time. Now this is a great feature, as you do have to choose carefully to make sure you've got the right firepower for the mission in front of you. As you play, opponents will drop weapons and you'll find strategically placed items, so look out for these as you'll usually need them to complete your mission. Now you've also got various grenades that you can use, but again, you can only carry 2 of each type, so use these wisely. Now during this first Halo installment, you'll get to fight hordes of Covenant troops and meet the Flood. So the Flood is a terrifying parasitic organism that takes over the bodies of any living creatures, turning them into zombie-like warriors with no sense of fear, so you do really need to keep your wits about you when you come across them. You'll also get to drive and fly a range of UNSC and Covenant vehicles to help you get around a bit faster and also to deal with some of the bigger and stronger enemies. Now my favourites are the Scorpion tanks, so these allow you to just blast your way through the enemy waves, pretty much nothing can stand in your way. And of course all of these varied scenarios just add to the overall gameplay and enjoyment of the game. Now one of the great things to watch as you play these games through is the development of the console technology. Now Combat Evolved was one of the very first Xbox games released, and as such you can see that it's only starting to scratch the surface of what this great console can do. Now playing the original Xbox version rather than the remastered versions is the best way to experience this, especially when you're playing through the whole series as we are at the moment. Now the game was rendered in 480p, which is only 720 by 480 pixels, and you can see this on the screen, where the graphics do look a bit less well defined compared to what we're used to with today's machines. But all of this actually adds to the character of the game and doesn't at all detract from the great gameplay, which of course is the true reason that this game shines. So after quite a few hours of battling across the open countryside, through some ancient ruins, and onto the flood-infested library buildings, you'll eventually defeat everyone, destroy the Halo ring, and save the day. And this is all of course just in time for Halo 2, where we ramp up the action. So Halo 2 picks up the action directly after Halo 1. Released in 2004, the developers Bungie added the ability to dual-wield handguns and hijack enemy vehicles by either killing or kicking out the drivers. They tried to build an advanced graphics engine and large-scale multiplayer option, but development issues caused them to scale back their plans to get the game finished. Having said that, they produced one hell of a game, which became the best-selling title for the Xbox. So the Covenant has discovered the Earth and launches an attack to retrieve an ancient artifact. You must fight them off and save the planet. After your victory, you chase the Covenant to a second Halo ring, and this is where the game gets deeper. So Halo 2 has 2 parallel game arcs. One for Master Chief as he battles his way through to destroy the new Halo ring and prevent the Covenant prophets from destroying all life in the galaxy. And then a second arc where you play as the Covenant's Arbiter, who is their supreme warrior tasked to bring the rings online and fulfill this prophecy. So as each arc progresses, the narrative starts to reveal itself, and you do get really caught up in this fantastic storytelling, which is really good in this series of games. So as a later release, Halo 2 is able to fully utilise the power of the Xbox. The graphics take a step up from the original title, and gameplay is more involved and more immersive. So even though we are on a 20-year-old console, it's again this story and these game arcs that make the difference every time, rather than relying on 4K ultra-resolution displays. So you just simply get caught up in the action and enjoy these great titles. So after you battle through both of these story arcs to find the full truth behind the Halo rings, Master Chief and Arbiter then decide to join up forces to fight against the evil Covenant prophets and to stop then their dastardly plans. And this is where we then jump into Halo 3. So Halo 3 was the first title in the series for the then new Xbox 360. and it brought the original game trilogy to an end. It was also the last Halo developed by Bungie, who released it in September of 2007. Now in this one, the Covenant is now led by something called the Brutes, so these are a sort of big, tough and even harder to kill alien, and they're trying to find the way to activate all of the remaining Halo rings in one fell swoop. So Master Chief and the Arbiter are now fighting together, with you playing as Master Chief, and the story takes you from a battle on Earth through a portal to somewhere called the Ark, where you again have to fight both the Covenant and the Flood to stop the network of rings from being fired. Now along the way, you'll again get to use a whole range of vehicles, both human, UNSC and Covenant, with some great battles and some very tricky missions. As you play through, the whole storyline again unfolds and keeps the adrenaline going as you try to stop these evil brutes from winning and activating the rings. So with the jump to the Xbox 360, of course we get a further increase in the quality of the game technology. So we have better animations, the Xbox 360 uses a higher resolution screen, and we get even more immersive game worlds and missions. But it's still the actual story and the game progress that are the standout features that keep this game at the top of the Xbox games lists. Now eventually you and the Arbiter finally conquer and destroy the enemy, but Master Chief has to sacrifice himself in the final destruction of the Ark and the Ring, ending up in cryosleep with Cortana watching over him as they drift off into space on a crippled ship. And of course that's where the original trilogy ends.
Well done, Chief.
Halo 4 was the first game produced by 343 Industries, who took over control from Bungie. So this was an internal Microsoft studio who started work on remastering the original Combat Evolved chapter for the Xbox 360 before expanding their team to be able to produce the full Halo 4 main title. Now this was released in 2012. Now the team built upon their knowledge of the console and were now able to push the limits of the Xbox 360. We've got full motion capture animations for the main characters and further improved physics, enemy AI and game worlds, but still with the same high levels of gameplay and enthralling story arcs. Now Halo 4 was criticised for relying too much on knowledge from the past chapters, which made it a bit awkward for new players. But if you've been following the series, this new interplay between Cortana and Master Chief really does add to the whole atmosphere of the game. So Halo 4 picks up the action 4 years after Halo 3. The game starts with Master Chief being woken out of his cryosleep by Cortana as they approach the Forerunner planet Requiem. The full-scale action starts as soon as you've wiped the sleep from your eyes, with your ship being pulled down and crashing onto the planet. From there you have to explore Requiem, fighting the Covenant and a new enemy, the Prometheans. Now eventually you manage to battle your way through to try to save the human ship Infinity, but on the way you release the Diadact, one of the Forerunners from imprisonment. Now he really does not rate humanity, and therefore decides to turn everyone into AI-powered creatures, sort of like a futuristic Elon Musk. But it's your job then to find and stop him. So again, the story layers unfold through the use of great storytelling and extreme physical violence, until you eventually meet the Diadact face to face in the final battle. Obviously after a few retries, you will eventually defeat him and save the galaxy as you always knew you would. At the end, both Master Chief and Cortana have a little bit of a moment before parting ways and setting the stage for the next chapter. But Halo 5 had to wait for the Xbox One, so our journey on the Xbox 360 will have to stop here.
Thing you've seen all day?
So the Halo game series was and is one of the best ever produced for any gaming system. This was confirmed by the commercial success of the franchise, which managed to sell well over 80 million copies, with total sales pushing past $6 billion. So if you do get the chance to play through from the start, you're in for a fantastic gaming treat. So dust off that Xbox 360 and get going. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I had making it. If so, please do click that like button and subscribe to the channel for more gaming, modding electronics and making projects. I look forward to seeing you again very soon, and bye for now. For more games programming, electronics projects, and retro gaming, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and visit my website.